Just wait for Sir Arnold. Wala pa rin kasing advice rin if he will not be able to join. So, to everyone po, standby lang tayo until such further notice from the vice chair or the chairman so far as this meeting is concerned. Thank you po.
Attorney Bags, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
As per phone call po from Sir Balukating, Sir Arnold, malilate lang daw po siya.
Okay.
Meeting with BBGA po.
Sige, ma'am. So, as per info po, this is standby na lang po while waiting for the presiding officer in today's meeting. Thank you po.
Hello, mic test.
Yes, sir.
Test 1, 2, 3. How do you read? Can you read me?
Yes, sir. I can read you, sir, and I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
5 by
Yes, sir.
5, Sir Sak.
Thank you.
Hello, Sir June Gagtan. Are you representing the end user today's meeting?
Yes, sir. For the project of supply delivery of high-gain antenna and the microphones.
Okay. How about the two other projects, sir?
I think the ILS will be presented by ANTTD and the other one is by Sir Florian of Electromechanical.
Okay. Sige, sir. Thank you for the info.
Okay,
I think
good
Sir
afternoon.
Arnold is here.
Will be delayed na ano namin kasi meron pa kami meeting kanina with TDJA. So, Secretariat, do we have now a quorum?
Yes, sir. We have a quorum now. Apat na po kayo, including the end user for today's meeting.
Okay, so the meeting is now called to order. Again, Secretariat, please we start it with prayer.
Sige, sir. I now call on Ms. Hali Pasano, sir, to lead the prayer for this afternoon's meeting. Ms. Hali, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us put ourselves in the most holy presence of God. Lord, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for our good health that allows us to conduct these activities. We thank you for the gift of knowledge and wisdom, and we pray for your continued guidance as we conduct today's meeting. May you continue to watch over us individually and of our families in these times. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Good afternoon again to everyone. Okay, Secretariat, please make a roll call.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I also, again, request Ms. Hali to do the roll call and acknowledgement of the attendees for today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you po. I will be doing the roll call. Start with our chairperson. Please acknowledge once your name is called. Captain Donaldo Ventosa, our chairperson. Engineer Arnold Balucating, our vice chairperson.
Present online.
Thank you, sir. Attorney Danjun Lucas. Brigadier General Ernesto Milo.
Present online, ma'am. Good
Thank you,
afternoon, Sir Arnold. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Engineer Elmer Gomez.
Present online. Good afternoon.
Afternoon po, Engineer Arnel Borlado. For our BAC Technical Working Group, our head, Attorney Frank Edward Marty. For the members, Engineer Raul Crisena, Engineer Michael Ilagan, Engineer Eva Lazatin, Engineer Joferan Torrefranca, Engineer Emmanuel Tolosa, Engineer Eduardo Sacopon,
Present.
thank you, sir. Engineer Norik Baez,
Present. Good afternoon.
afternoon po, and Sir Mark Kevin Batwa. For our back secretariat, our overall head, Engineer Leandro Perquez. For our head, Attorney Godfrey Ragudo.
Present online.
And other members of back secretariat are online as well. And for our minutes taker, Ms. Anna Ibay. We also have the end user present online, as well as the observers from Procurement Division, Internal Audit, and COA. That is all for the roll call. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Hali. Just to recognize the end users, again, Sir June Jagtan, sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sir. Present online.
Sir Florian, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Present online.
Yes, sir, good afternoon. And representative from the ANFP, Project Implementation Office. Good afternoon, sir, ma'am, for your presence today. So with that, Mr. Chair, for the roll call and acknowledgement of the attendees. Sir Arnold, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the first agenda. What is the first agenda for today?
Yes, sir. Let me share lang po yung notice of yung meeting natin for the agenda. Nakikita na po ba yung notice or agenda natin, Sir Arnold? Okay.
Yes, sir.
First, in our agenda, this afternoon's meeting is the pre-procurement of 2 projects. First is the replacement of ILS 06 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport in the amount of 65,377,804 pesos and 93 cents. The end user is ANS. May I request the end user from ANS to present the project as part of the procurement of this project. Sir, ma'am, from the ANS. Thank you. I'll be stop sharing this notice for us the presenter be able to present the project. Thank you.
Okay. Bakit project implementation itong ano? Planning dapat, di ba?
Sir, ako yan, sir.
Okay, sige. Okay.
Planning dapat ang mag-represent.
Planning.
Sir Florian, Sir Jun, wala po ba mga pag-planning? Sorry kung hindi ko sila na.
Parang hindi na si na Jopet ay grupo ni Jopet ano. So anyway, while coordinating with the planning department of ENS, I suggest that we move on first to the second agenda so that they can prepare also. Hindi sila na notify.
Sige, sir. Okay, sir. Sir Jun, kayo na rin number 2, sir. Let me share again.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sige, sir.
Next, in the next project for the pre-procurement conference is the supply and delivery of high-gain VHF antenna for HART tag and rod transmitter in the amount of 4,817,975 pesos. Sir June? Okay.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to share my screen. Sir, nakikita niyo na po ba?
Yes, sir. Pero baka pwedeng lakihan mo na. Yan, sir. Okay na, sir. Nalagyan na.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm here to present you our purchase request entitled Supply and Delivery of High-Gain VHF Antenna for RCAG and Rod Transmitter. The ABC of which is 4,817,975. The source of fund is the approved APP 2022 capital outlay under Supply and Delivery of High-Gain Antenna with the APP code of 0834. CBA number is 22030190 dated March 11, 2022. Under the CNS ATM modernization project, not only did we install radar system, but also upgraded our indoor VHF radios in our RCAGs. Remote air-to-ground en route facilities provides extended air-to-ground communication between ATC and pilots. The omnidirectional antenna supplied under the project was not as efficient as the directional antenna we used before. So oftentimes ATC complains of shorter contacts with the pilots. As you can see here, the antenna propagation or wave propagation of the different antennas for Omni Although we don't have a gain and the signal is radiated in all direction, it doesn't reach as farther as the high gain antenna. So we can tweak actually the antenna to provide uh, longer coverage. So in this, ANS intends to replace the omnidirectional antenna with high gain antenna to obtain longer propagation. That's all, sir. For sir, allow me to share also the bidding documents for this project. Sir, nakikita niyo na po ba?
Wala pa, Sir Jun. Wala pang nai-present.
Ay, wait lang, sir.
Na bid docs. Opo. Thank you. For Sir Norik, sir, kakatapos lang po ni Sir Jun na mag-present through PowerPoint. He's now presenting the bid docs for the project. Thank you.
Yan, sir, nakikita niyo po?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay na po.
Yes, sir. Again, sir, good afternoon. For the bidding documents, let me show the supply and delivery of high-gain bidirectional VHF antenna for remote center air-to-ground indoor transmitter. For the table of contents, for the invitation to bid, number one, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines through CAAP Corporate Operating Budget for 2022 intends to apply the total of 4,817,975 pesos, being the approved budget for the contract ABC to payment under the contract for the supply and delivery of high-gain antenna for ARCAG indoor transmitter. We are planning to buy 7 sets of dipole heavy-duty high-gain antenna and 2 pieces of clamp for every antenna. Number two, CAAP now invites bids for the above procurement project. Delivery of goods is required within 90 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission, and receipt bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in section 2 of the instruction to bidders. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised implementing rules. Number 5, complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders until the deadline of submission bids from the given address and websites below, and upon payment of the applicable fee for the documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by GPPP in the amount of 5,000. The procuring entity shall allow the bidders to present the proof of payment for the fees through email. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before. Late bids shall not be accepted. Number 8, all bids must be accompanied by bid security in any applicable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on at the given address below and or via video conferencing Google Meet application. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidder's representative which wish to attend the activity. The CAAP reserves the right to reject any bids and all bids declared in the failure of bidding or not award the contract at any prior contract award in accordance with sections 35.6 41 of the 2016 revised IR of RA 9184. For further information, please refer to Engineer Leandro Barquez, overall head, BAC Secretariat, or you may visit the following website. For the instruction to bidders, The procuring Number one, scope of bid. The procuring entity CAAP wishes to receive bids for the supply and delivery of high-gain bidirectional VHF antenna for ARCAG and transmitter with identification number. The procurement project herein is composed of one lot and details of which are described in section 7 of the technical specifications. Funding through the GOP through the source of funding is indicated below for 2022 in the amount of 4,817,975. The source of funding is the corporate operating budget. For the bid data sheet, for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be supply and delivery of radio communication equipment system. We have broadened the specs dahil hindi pa kami nakakapag-procure ng high-gain antenna for the last 5 years. Baka kasi wala pong sumali. Letter B, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission of the receipts of bid. Number 14.1, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 2%, which is 96,359.50 pesos. Letter B, the amount of not less than the 5%, which is 240,898.75. Number 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sub-lots for the purpose of bidding, valuation, and contract award. 20.2, no license required. 21.2, a certificate from the manufacturer or principal as authorized distributor of the radio communication equipment system offered. Letter B, per CAAP memorandum dated 17 September 2018. Disqualification of prospective bidders with a pending case against the government in the procurement activities of the CAAP. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. Number one, the certification under oath attesting that they have no pending cases. Number two, legal clearance to be issued by CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to non-pendency of any cases prospective bidders against the authority. For the general conditions, standard lang po ito. Special conditions of contract, standard din po. For purposes of this clause, the procuring entity representative at the project site is Ms. Maria Miraflor de Andaya. For number 4, the inspections and tests that will be conducted shall include but not limited to physical inspection and inventory or whatever additional tests that the technical inspection team may require. For the schedule of requirement, we are requiring 7 sets of 4-pole heavy-duty high-gain antenna with mounting hardwares and 14 pieces of clamps for each dipole antenna. Delivery weeks will be 90 calendar days. For the technical specification, the frequency range should be 118 to 138 megahertz. The gain should be 10.6 dBi. Connector is N-male. Polarization vertical. Impedance 50 ohms. Horizontal beam width is 180 degrees. Vertical beam width 17 degrees. Average power input is 300 watts. Should be also lightning protected. Electrical tilt should be available in 0 to 468 degrees. Front to back ratio of 9 dB. Base pipeline element is aluminum. Input BSWR is 1.5:1. And for the mounting hardware, should be carbon steel, hot dip galvanized clamp. And it should supply 2 pieces of clamp for every antenna, a total of 14 clamps. Delivery period is 90 calendar days with 1-year warranty. For the checklist, standard lang. That's all, Mr. Chair. If you have any question.
Any query, clarification? David?
Mr. Chair, if I may, sir.
No,
Yeah.
David.
Just I would like to uh, get a clarification on section 21.2 from the end user. You have listed a couple of documents under 21.2 of the BDS. 21 section 21 is about signing of contract. So these are additional contract documents. May we know if can you please clarify if these documents will be required during the opening of bids or after or during the signing of the contract?
I think it's during the post-qual evaluation.
Paki-display yung na yun para makita ng ibang paki-display yung ibang yung na yun, yung item na yan.
Sir Chopat, pwedeng pa-ulit kung anong item yan?
Yes, that's actually 21.1 po yan. Yung may yung BDS, not 21.2.
Okay.
Yes.
So 21.2 yung gusto mo, sir, na makita?
No, I mean yung table na 21.2 ninyo is supposedly for 21.1, but what we are want to clarify is if these documents will be required during opening of bids or after on the signing of the contract, because section 21 is for the signing of the contract and these documents are additional contract documents. Please clarify. Thank you.
Sir Plow, ano yun? Pagkatapos na? Yung mga documents na yun? Legal? Yes, sir. Sa opening po, we will require these documents sa opening.
Pwede bang ikaw mo doon sa item na yan para lahat ay makita?
Wait lang, sir.
Sir, if I may.
Go ahead, Raul.
Yes, sir. Sir, di ba yung sa certificate of no pending at saka legal is to included to doon sa sa anong tawag dito? Sworn statement. Doon to nakasama.
Okay, kaya nga gusto kong ipakita nila yung para magkaroon tayo ng
Sige, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nawawala. Jun, nawawala din.
Yes, sir. Wait lang, sir. Sir, ulitin ko. Yan, sir, nakikita niyo?
I am seeing it from my end, Sir Arnold.
Kita ko rin, sir.
Nakita na.
Visible.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if the end user expects that these documents are to be submitted during the opening of bids, this should be under 10. I mean the section 10 of or 10.1 of the BDS.
Sir, if I may.
Right.
Ano, sir? Revise ko na lang.
Go ahead, John.
Sir, if the suggestion of the TWG is to put these items in 10.1, we are willing to revise the meeting documents before it will be posted at PLF's application.
Bakit nakaganito? Is this the template naman ito eh? Bakit parang o kaya nagkamali kung saan inilagay? Itong item ba na to dapat nandito? O nagkamali lang na inilagay dito?
Sir, per TWG, sir, dapat daw nasa 10.2 if we will require na kasama to sa opening itong mga documents na to.
But this is not the first time na mag-prepare ng ng documents. So kaya ko tinatanong. Doon ba nga sa previous document ba ito ay nakalagay dito? Yung mga noong bidding?
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Yes, section 10 is for the documents comprising the bid for eligibility and technical components. So yung equivalent po niya sa BDS is also 10, section 10 of the BDS or section 10.1 of the BDS. So if the end user expects this to be submitted during the opening of bids, they should be included in the technical component. And if they have additional requirements or contract documents to be submitted during the signing of contract, this should be under the section 21.1 of the BDS.
Okay, and sir, did you get
it? Yes, sir. Okay. Just revise the bidding documents, sir.
Okay, so and Joseph, kindly make the appropriate revision of this term of reference. Okay, so any more query or comment?
Mr. Chair, tanong ko lang, medyo late yung dating ko kanina. Mentioning the ARCAG, this is used for our ARCAG site. Which particular ARCAG or the delivery of these goods should be on the central office, or
Yes, sir.
the bidders should distribute this to our ARCAG sites individually.
Yes, sir, please.
Parang hindi na mention
Yes,
kung saan i-deliver tong goods na to.
delivery of goods is here at the central officer, but the end user will be the one who will distribute it to Palawan, Arcag, Lawag, and Mount Manchi.
Okay,
So it would be first delivered initially to Texan building, and then inspection will be conducted here, and then they will be again delivered to, they are the one who will deliver to sites,
No, sir.
ARCAG sites.
No, sir. ANS na po. Dito sa ANS
ANS na.
logistics na po lahat. Yeah.
Okay, so ang point of delivery should be here at ANS Technical Center, you mean?
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, in user, kindly clarify this in the document so that there is no confusion in the future.
Okay. To the chair, just
Go ahead,
one
Attorney.
information lang po din po kay Sir June. Sir, if you are to revise the document, kindly make the also insert this in the checklist of the eligibility and technical financial documents. Dun sa baba po kanina. Once you edit this portion, para sabay-sabay na po yun yung maging checklist natin during the opening of bids. Parang wala kasing na-indicate ito yung sa certificate from manufacturer. Paki-take note na lang po, Sir June.
Noted, sir. We'll do the revision.
Opo. Thank you, sir. Thank you lang, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any more clarification or comment? Hearing none, so is there any motion from the members of the BAC? Or before that, end user, what is your recommendation?
Sir, we recommend that this be purchase request be published at the Philippine PhilJobs official publication, and the mode of procurement is public bidding.
Okay, TWG.
Mr. Chair, TWG also recommends for the posting of the project pending the revision of the bid data sheet 21.1, Chair. And the checklist. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, any motion from the members of the BAC?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Hilmer.
Yes, move to adopt the recommendation of the DWG division pending the revision of the bid docs, the posting of the project.
Okay, thank you. Any second? Any second the motion? Maybe Sir Miles. Secretariat, please contact General Manager.
Yes, sir. From the members po, the presiding officer asked for the secondment of the motion by Sel Ermer.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. So with the recommendation and motion and the second motion, the BAC hereby adopt the posting of the project after the revision mentioned during the previous discussion, and the end user will revise it, and then the secretariat as well as the TWG will review this document before posting. Thank you. Okay, so secretariat, the next agenda.
Okay.
We'll
you,
go
sir.
to the item that we, item number 1.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I believe Sir Jopet and the rest of
June.
will and you, sir, will flash the project, the for the project replacement of ILS o 6 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport in the amount of 65,377,804 pesos and 93 cents. Sir Joe and the representative from the ANS to present the project, sir, please.
Yes,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair. Mr. Engineer June Beleno is here to present the project, Mr. Chair, for the pre-procurement.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Hello. Hello, mic check.
Okay, go ahead yun. Laksa mo ng
Uh,
konti.
okay, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. The ANS would like to present the pre-procurement of the project for the replacement of ILS 06 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport. So,
Yung presentation mo, wala pa.
opo sir, teka, paano ba? So, Mr. Chair, to proceed, uh, I'm referring to the document, ILS document, revision number 0408 22, for everyone's reference. And now proceeding. For the invitation to bid for the replacement of ILS 06 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport, number one, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, CAAP, through the through the CAAP Multi-Year Budget Authority for fiscal year 2022 intends to apply the sum of 65,377,804 pesos and 93 centavos, being the ABC to payments under the contract for replacement of ILS 06 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at the opening. Number two, the CAAP now invites the bids for the supply, delivery, installation, training, and commissioning, flight check of ILS 06 and its ancillaries, refer to Section 6, Schedule of Requirements, and Section 7, Technical Specifications for the above procurement project. Delivery of the goods is required within the contract duration of 365 calendar days. Bidders shall provide proof, uh, e.g. certification issued by the airport authority that the offered equipment have been installed in international airports from 3 different countries other than the country of origin, where the offered equipment is manufactured, and the OEM of the offered ILS equipment shall be in the manufacturing business of ILS equipment for at least the last 10 years. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 ITB. Number three, bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in 2016 revised IRR. And bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, partnerships, or organizations with at least 6% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines and to citizens or organizations of country the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Number four, prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given below during 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BAC office, CAAP, Mia Road, Pasay City. Number five, a complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the given address and website shown, and upon payment of the applicable fee of 50,000 pesos plus 12% VAT, the procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees presenting the OR. So the uh, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines may also download free of charge the website from philjeps.gov.ph and at the website of the procuring entity, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Number six, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines will hold a pre-bid conference on the specified date, 2022 at CAAP conference room, which shall be open to prospective bidders. 7. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through the manual submission at CAAP on or before 2022 2 p.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Number 8. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms in the amount of ITB Clause 14. Number 9. Bid opening shall be on 2 p.m. on a set date at CAAP Authority of the Philippines. Number 10. CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all declared and all bids declared a failure bidding or not awarding the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with the section 35.6 of IRR 9184 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. Number 11, for further information, please refer to Engineer Leandro Arbarquez, CAAP BAC Head Secretariat with the following telephone and website address. And number 12, you may visit the following website for downloading the bidding documents at https://caap.gov.ph. Chairman, Bids and Awards Committee, Captain Donaldo A. Mendoza. For Section 2, Instruction to Bidders, the scope of bid, number 1, the procuring entity, CAAP, wishes to receive bids for the replacement of ILS 06 for Ninoy Aquino International Airport with identification number period. Number 2, funding information. 2.1, the GOP through the source of funding as indicated below for CY 2022 in the amount of 65,377,804 pesos and 93 centavos. The source of funding is CAAP Multi-Year Budget Authority for fiscal year 2022 APP item number 0827. Number 3, bidding requirements. The bidding for the project shall be governed by the provision of RA 9184, and the bidder, by the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project work, and examination of all instruction forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents and in the BTS. Number 4, corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices. The procuring entity shall observe the highest standard of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract, based on the revised IRR 9184. Eligible bidders for 5.1, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically and financially capable will be evaluated. 5.2, foreign ownership limited to those allowed under rules may participate in this project. So, to proceed, Mr. Chair, on subcontracts, I shall be highlighting the important and relevant requirements of the project. 7.1, the procuring entity has prescribed that letter A, subcontracting is allowed, and the portion of the project and the maximum percentage allowed to be subcontracted are indicated in the BDS, which shall not exceed 20% of the contracted goods. Number 10, documents comprising the bid eligibility and technical components. 10.1, the first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents bid as specified in sections 8, checklist of technical financial documents and BDS. And 10.2, the bidder's SLCC should have been completed within 10 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipts of the bid. And now proceeding, the documents comprising of the bid for the financial component. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial bid as specified in section 8, the checklist of technical and financial documents of the BTS. For the bid prices in number 12, the prices indicated on the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manners. For A, goods offered from within the procuring entity's country. For goods offered from abroad, as the um, bid is tendered. Number 13, payment of currencies is in Philippine peso. Bid security shall be the bidder shall submit bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in the amount as indicated in the BDS. Number 15, sealing and marketing of bids. Each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second components of its bid as specified in the BDS. Deadline of submission of bids is as what is stated on the invitation to bid. So proceeding, section 3, bid data sheet, ITB clause 3, bids bulletins, if applicable, are required to be submitted and shall form part of the bidder's technical documents. So bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. 5.3. For this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be supply, delivery, installation, testing, and commissioning of ILS and or TVOR completed within the last 10 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. 7.1. Subcontracting is allowed and shall be done by company with valid PCAB small B size range, COD license category in general engineering or general building and electrical or navigational aids works classification. 10.1A, as per CAAP memorandum dated 17th of September 2018 regarding the disqualification of prospective bidders with pending case against the government in the procurement activities of CAAP, all prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. Number one, certification under oath, attesting that they have no pending cases. And number two, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any case of prospective bidders against the authority. And letter B, revised Annex A, ITB 10.1. For bidders applicable items, the bidder shall indicate in the technical component on a separate sheet using revised Annex A ITB 10.1 form. And C, design requirements and certificate of site inspection specified in Section 8, checklist of technical and financial component. The bidder shall propose the schedule and send the details of their visiting personnel, and certificate of inspection form is attached in this document for reference. So we need the copy of company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor's logbook, appearing the names and signatures of the inspector, and the picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with the ANSFIC or her duly authorized representative. And bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For number 12, the price of goods shall be quoted DDP at the sites defined in Section 6. 12.1A, or incidental services for goods. These are the same templates that we have been using, as well the incidental services for goods offered from abroad. And now for the 14.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration in any of the following forms: the amount of not less than 2% of ABC, or the amount of not less than 5% ABC if bid security is in surety bond. Number 15, each and every page thereof shall be initialed or signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs, year tab, and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of page 3 of 100. Page number of the last page of the documents shall be as per envelope basis. So pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bidders shall submit one original copy of the first and second components of its bid, and bids not complying with the above instructions shall be automatically disqualified. 16.1 is the address for the submission of bid at the back office, CAAP, Old Mia Road, Pasay City, Philippines. 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. 21.1 A. The contractor shall be responsible for securing all necessary permits, such as electrical, civil work permits, permit to improve to import NTC, security pass, etc., from prospective offices, and B. Additional contact documents relevant to the project required by the CAAP during the contract agreement signing. B.1 project implementation schedule and B.2 cash flow by quarter. Letter C, the following documents shall be formed and part of the contract and shall be submitted together with a technical proposal during the bidding. Number 1, system interconnection design diagram, signed and sealed by professional ECE, PECE. Number 2, siting location design plan, signed and sealed by PECE. Number 3, power, electrical and grounding, transformers and cages, manholes, and cabling system design plan, uh, signed and sealed by professional electrical engineer. Number 4, RCMS interconnection plan, signed and sealed by professional ECE. Number 5, project work schedule plan for 365 calendar days. Number 6, or original latest versions of OEM equipment technical characteristics and specifications for the proposed product. Number 7, copy of the PRC certificate or clear photocopy of PECE or PEE license of the signing engineer, copy of PTR of the signing engineers. Number 9, certificate of good standing from the accredited professional organization shall be submitted by the signing engineers. Number 10, signed compliance statement to the relevant sections of the IKO Annex 10 Volume 1 Radio Navigational Aids. And lastly, number 11, item 1.5 of section 7 technical specifications, certificate of site inspection as prescribed in the BDS. In addition to the required documents, the following documents shall be submitted during the post-qualification stage are: number 1, certificate of exclusive or authorized distributorship issued by the OEM of supplied equipment. Number 2, valid ISO 9001 and 14001 certificate or its internationally recognized equivalent of company and product. Section 4, the GCC of the contract. These are the templates from the 6th edition. Going to Section 5, the special conditions of the contract. GCC Clause 1, delivery and documents. These are the terms that we require for the supplier to provide from local and from quantities from abroad. And the purpose of this clause, the procuring entity's representative of the project site is Engineer Joy and Hermosillo, facility in charge Manila CNS facility, or his authorized representative at the site defined in Section 6 Schedule of Requirements. So the inspection and test that will be conducted are, I'm sorry, 2.2, this is a turnkey project. Payment will be after issuance of project completion, certification of CAAP. Number 4, the inspections and tests that will be conducted are A, verification, inspection of wireless equipment and conformity to contract specification, and B, verification, inspection of manhole construction, power cable within conduits laying, trenching, and backfilling, and letter C, periodic inspections at site, FAT, commissioning, and SAT. Number 5, the contractor or supplier shall warrant the entire equipment assemblies, software, and related integration site works for 1 year, DLP, parts and service, plus 1 year warranty periods, parts and service. Section 6, the schedule of requirements. So we have item 1, the localizer and equipment subsystem. For runway 06, we have one set. Glide path GP equipment subsystem, one set, which are, by the way, a dual system, as well as the localizer, composed of dual system. IDME equipment and subsystem, one set, also a dual system. System monitoring and control equipment, RCMS set, is composed of one set. Localizer and glide path equipment, shelter, and ancillaries. These are composed of two sets for localizer and glide path. And we required spare parts for the ILS system, and as well as the test equipment and tools and site works for provision of power line, fiber optic line, and ancillaries and other works considered as one lot, and training and FAT that are subdivided for on-site test equipment training, one lot, on-site facility training, one lot, factory acceptance test, one lot, factory training, one lot, and we have commissioning and flight check, including support, one lot, and ILS warranty, DLP, and warranty, one lot. So we have also the site works requirements for power line, fiber optic link, and ancillaries and other work. So this should be uh, fulfilled by the contractor. So that's all, Mr. Chair, for my presentation of the document.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, end user, for presenting the project. And then may I request comment and clarification from the members of the BAC or TWG?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Jabet.
May I request the end user, Mr. Chair, to show the checklist so that the BAC Secretariat will have an information on the, if they will have any comment on the checklist. Thank you.
Okay, so end user, please.
Okay, Mr. Chair, let us proceed to the checklist. Section 8, the checklist of technical and financial documents. For the Item number 1, technical component envelope, Class A documents. We require the legal documents. Letter A, valid PhilJEPS registration. Letter B, registration certificate from SEC or DTI, or for sole proprietorship or CDA authority. Letter C, mayor's permit. Letter D, tax clearance. Finally reviewed and approved by BIR. And for technical documents, continuing as F, statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any. Letter G, statement of bidders SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid. Letter H, original copy of bid security, if in the form of surety bond. Letter I, latest official OEM equipment technical characteristics, specifications, manual, and or sales materials or brochures. Letter J, reference drawing signed by the engineers and authorized representative. Letter K, certificate of site inspection issued by the Manila CNS facility in charge, NAIA. Letter L, bid bulletin if applicable. Letter M, accomplished Annex A ITB 10.1 form. And N, letter N, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement. For financial documents, the supplier's audited financial statements, which should not, for the proceeding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Letter P, prospectives bidders computation of NFCC. And for Class B documents, in case, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or duly notarized statements from all potential joint ventures partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the GVA. Other documentary requirements under RA number 9184 for foreign bidders, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate. Letter S, certification from DTI if the bidder claims preference as domestic bidder or domestic entity. Number 2, financial component envelope. Letter A, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. And B, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedules. That's all, Mr. Chair, for the attachment and checklist.
WG, do you have additional inquiry with regards to checklist?
Through the chair.
Raul, go ahead, Raul.
Yes, sir. Sir, certificate of site inspection. Inquire lang ako sa end user kung hindi ba natin ilalagay yung pangalan ng tao kung sino yung ano.
Yes, sir. May nakalagay po, sir, tayo na si Engineer Joy Hermosilla, yung contact po natin para sa Ninoy Aquino.
Pero hindi siya naka-specify doon sa ano, sa mismong certificate of site inspection kung sino.
Nakalagay po, sir. Siya po yung signing
Yun dito sa checklist mo kasi hindi nakalagay.
Okay. So pwede po nating ilagay, sir, yung dito.
Ilagay nyo. Kasi doon sa narinig ko, mayroon kang pangalan na sinabi. Pero dito sa checklist, hindi mo nilagay. So,
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Noted. Bawal po.
Mr. Chair, pwedeng isa pa. Pwede pa ano doon sa line ng omnibus term statement.
Also,
Sir.
go ahead, Raul.
Yes, sir. Wala nang kasama tong additional document.
What do you mean, sir, yung usually po, ang nire-require namin yung omnibus sworn statement as long as notarized lang.
Okay. Kasi dito sa bidding docs sa amin, dito nakasama yung certificate of no pending case at saka legal clearance. Kine-query ko lang.
Okay po. Bali po, sir, doon sa BDS natin, required naman po natin siya doon na i-submit.
Okay. Sige.
Yes, sir.
Pero sa opening kasama na rin siya.
Opo, sir, kasi may sasubmit po siya, attachment po siya doon sa sa BDocs.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Okay
you,
po.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, baka kailangan isama dito sa checklist para kasi checklist
Para-
para malaman.
Okay po, Mr. Chair, ilalagay ko na lang yung no pending case. I'll make note na lang po.
Yes, sir, para minsanan po yung ating checklist during the opening of bids po.
Yes, sir.
Para wala kaming makaligtaan during the opening po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you po.
Yeah, end user mayroon akong naalala yung the ILS 06 will be working hand in hand with the ILS 24.
Yes,
So
sir.
there is a need for interfacing on this equipment, assuming na halimbawa hindi magkaparehas yung manufacturer. So do we have a provision, some sort of checklist and a requirement para makasigurado tayong yung dalawang ILS ay mag-uusap?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Meron po tayong provision dyan na nakalagay sa ating requirements na sila ay dapat maging makapag-usap.
Yeah, what I mean is, dun sa checklist, hindi natin i-require yun. Kasi yun?
Hindi na po natin nilagay, Mr. Chair, kasi po dito sa requirements natin sa is na po siya considered yung as attachment. Bali, ginawa na po natin siya in terms of reference.
Nasaan yan?
Wait, ito po. Ito po, Mr. Chair, isa sa mga terms of reference natin.
ILS system shall have interlock with existing. Okay. And shall ensure. Yeah. Ang dito is pag nag-comply siya dito, pasado na siya, di ba?
Yes. Opo, Mr. Chair.
Yes, unlike kung i-certification na parang he is committing to have an interlock. During the checklist ay kasi ito makikita lang ito during the post qualification. So, di ba, mas maganda kung during the opening pa lang ay makikita na natin? Suggestion lang yan.
Okay po, Mr. Chair. Kasi
Kasi,
mayroon po tayong nilagay, Mr. Chair, kasi dito sa sa mga additional na isasubmit nila, yung sa yung interconnection.
Yun nga. Yun nga ang sabi ko, kaya sa ano kasi yan, during the post-qualification or
Okay
during the
po.
implementation na. Ang ano sana, mas maganda kung doon pa lang sa checklist ay mayroon na para hindi na tayo magsasayang. Baka sabihin nila later on, hindi nila magagawa.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
I think TWG, kung mayroon kayo na mag-comment on this, or may request other members kung pwede natin, pwede niyong i-amplify itong issue na to. TWG?
Mr. Chair, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I think the end user presented a requirement on the BDS po regarding the reference drawings to be submitted, which already included the interlock requirements for the project. So if this document will be submitted during the opening of bids, so it's not going to be submitted during the implementation or post-qual.
So is that so if it will be submitted during the opening, is that one of the requirements that could disqualify the bidder if he did not submit it?
Yes, Mr. Chair, because based on item C of this requirement, I mean on the flash on the screen, Mr. Chair, this already includes the interconnection diagram with the existing ILS po, and shall be signed and sealed by the PEC. So meaning they already have the design for interconnection with the existing ILS for NAIA, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sige. So, yun ang worry ko lang, no? So, dapat makita natin during the opening that this requirement is part of the submission at mayroon na during the opening para makapag-decide tayo kaagad. So, yun lang. Hindi kailangan na isama natin sa checklist ito.
It's part of the, Mr. Chair, as listed in the item section C, 921 of 21.1. This document shall be submitted together with the technical proposal.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So that's okay na sa atin doon. Naninigurado lang ako. Okay, so to the other members of the BAC and to the other members of TWG, may query pa kayo? Hearing none, so end user, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chair, I would like to recommend for the posting for procurement of the project for the replacement of NAIA ILS 06.
Thank you. TWG, please comment.
Mr. Chair, TWG also recommends for the posting of the NAIA ILS project pending the revision as raised during the meeting, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, TWG. So to my fellow members of the BAC, comment or motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair. Move to adopt the recommendation. Move to adopt the recommendation of the TWG, so with the end user, for the posting of the project. Placement of ILS 06 and pending the revision.
Thank you, River. So
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
thank you, sir. So with the request of end user and recommendation of TWG and the first motion and second motion for the posting of the project is hereby adopted by the BAC after the minor revision as discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Secretariat, next agenda.
Guys.
Aye.
Yes, sir. Next in our agenda, Mr. Chair, is the wait lang, Mr. Chair, lag lang tong laptop ko. But next in the agenda, Mr. Chair, is the determination of the mode of procurement. For two projects. First, we have the supply, delivery, and installation of 38 pieces bulb regulated lead acid or BRLA batteries, 12 volts 80 Ah for Socomec UPS at Manila AFC with an ABC of 684,000 pesos. The end user, ANS. Sir Florian, are you the one presenting this project, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, please. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair, permission to present, to share my screen.
Proceed.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
First. Our project is for the supply, delivery, and installation of 38 pieces bulb-regulated lead acid or BRLA batteries with a rating of 12 volts, 80 ampere hours for Socomec UPS at Manila AFC. The ABC is 684,000. The source of fund is the approved APP for fiscal year 2022. Others, spare parts for head office with APP code 0171. It has a CBA number 22-03-203 dated March 17, 2022, and the duration of the project is 30 calendar days. For the overview, these batteries is intended for 1 unit Socomec UPS, 60 kVA. Rating is 12 volts, 80 ampere hour. The Socomec UPS supplies backup power to our equipment at ATFM and Manila FSA. Manila FSS primarily. For the recommended mode of procurement, the end user recommends the small value procurement as the mode of procurement for this project, since the batteries stated are not common and there is an installation involved. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. So, mayroong query ang CWD at saka invoice ng BAC. Okay, hearing none, and the end user is requesting for a small value procurement. So, any comment? CWD?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to check on the funding availability of the project, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
The funding is the project is funded against the approved APP for fiscal year 2022. Others spare parts for head office.
Florian, baka pwede mong pakita yun sa document.
Wait, sir. Sir, this is the certificate of budget allocation for this project.
Okay. PWD.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, end user, what is your request for this project? Florian, meron ka na bang ano dito? Yung request mo, nabanggit mo na.
Pardon, sir? Say again?
Yeah, the presentation is completed already, isn't it? Your presentation is already completed. Tapos na yung presentation mo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Yes,
what is your request to the committee?
The end user recommends small value procurement as the mode of procurement for this project.
Okay, thank you. So PWD comment.
Mr. Chair, the TWG adopts the recommendation of this project to be the mode of procurement is for SBP.
Okay, thank you. The members of the BAC, any motion or comment?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
I move to adopt the recommendations of TWG and the end user that the mode of procurement in item 3.1, that is delivery and installation of 38 pieces bulb as prescribed therein, that the mode of procurement be small value procurement.
Thank you, sir. Any second motion?
Second motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So with the request of the end user and recommendation of TWD with first motion and second motion, the BAC adopt the recommendation for the procurement of the mode of procurement of this project to be a small value procurement. Thank you. Next agenda, Secretariat. Secretariat.
Yes, sir. As in the agenda, Mr. Chair, is the supply and delivery of headset amplifier with PJ7 connector and push-to-talk headset connector for Tacloban and Zamboanga Airport Voice Communication System in the amount of 868,860 pesos. Sir Florian, kayo rin po ba yung nagpe-present nito, sir? Or may iba pong ano po?
Sir Jun, sir.
Sir, ako po magpe-present.
Okay. Sige, sir.
Okay,
Please po. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair, allow me to share my screen. Sir, nakikita niyo na po ba?
Nakikita namin yung picture mo.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Again, sir, good afternoon. I'm here to present to you our purchase request entitled Supply and Delivery of Headset Amplifier with PJ7 Connector and Push-to-Talk Headset Connector for Zamboanga and Tacloban Airports Voice Communication System. The ABC of which is 868,860 pesos. Source of funds, the approved APP fiscal year 2022 under others, spare parts, supply and delivery of headsets and PPP headsets amplifier with PJ7 with APP code 0162. CBE number is 2204261 dated April 4, 2022. The BCS at Tacloban and Zamboanga was installed on March 2011. The BCS integrates all communication equipment, including VHF radio, telephone, and intercoms. The worn-out headsets used by ATC personnel, which is connected to the voice communication system, needs replacement. For a better overview, these are the equipment or the headsets and wireless PPP that we are trying to purchase. This is the headset, the PPP, the base radio for the wireless communication. For this, sir, the end user is recommending small value procurement as a mode of procurement. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Jun,
Wala.
hindi nagbago
Yes, sir.
yung ano mo kanina, presentation mo, parang isang slide lang ba yan?
5 slides, sir.
Oh,
Sige, sir,
yan.
ulitin ko.
Oh. Ano to?
Wait lang, sir. Naglolo ko yung PC ko. Yan, sir, nakikita nyo?
Yes, Jun.
Okay, yes.
Nakikita.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes, sir. Ulitin ko na lang, sir.
Yung ano mo kanina is yung mga display ng ano, yung measuring one. So ito yung mga picture ng mga video.
Yes, sir. These are the pictures of the equipment and headsets that we are trying to purchase, sir.
Nakakon ba yun kung ilan yung quantity?
So, we are trying to purchase 10 sets of headset and 10 pieces also of the cordless PTT, sir.
Okay, sige. Okay, and then you are proposing for us the procurement.
We are recommending small value procurement, sir, as a mode of procurement.
Okay, sige. PWG, please, comment.
Sir, we adopt the recommendations of the end user to be this procurement should be small value procurement.
Okay. So, okay, thank you for the recommendation. Any motion or comment?
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Motion, Mr. Chair, move to adopt the recommendation of the end user and the PWG. So the mode of procurement is small value procurement.
Thank you, Mr.
I second the motion. So.
Okay, with the recommendation and first motion and second motion, the BAC adopt the recommendation for the mode of procurement of this project as SBP, small value procurement. Okay. Okay, so Secretariat, do we have other agenda?
As for the Secretariat, Mr. Chair, there's no other agenda or matters to be discussed, unless otherwise the technical working group and the other members have matters to discuss, Mr. Chair.
For technical working group, there's none, sir.
Okay. Thank you. For the other members of the BAC.
None on my side, sir.
Okay.
None for me, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Secretariat, do we have announcement?
And at this moment, Mr. Chair, we're just waiting for the formal notice insofar as the training or seminar regarding RA 9184, if we will be included in that training next week. So we'll just post if there will be updates on that, Mr. Chair. Wala pa kasi kaming formal notice to that effect. So we'll be keeping you updated po.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. And since there are no more agenda or other matters, so the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Chair, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.